He's a really good horse, exceptionally good looking, and fast.
Lord Nelson is just a picture type. He's got a beautiful neck and shoulder. He's got a nice hip. He's really strong.
Extremely fast. He's very well balanced. This horse is just an incredible fighter. He's mentally tough. His constitution is just iron. He's as tough, I think, as they make horses.
Hi everybody, welcome to Keeneland Babies. I'm Dan Illman along with Nicole Russo. Our Keeneland Babies segment presented by Spendthrift Farm. And as we take a look at the entry card for the second of two-year-old races at Keeneland on Sunday, Spendthrift sending out the big guns, Nicole. The 8 Cafe Mischief by Into Mischief, the 11 Toy Moon by Malibu Moon, both powerful Spendthrift stallions.
Yeah, and Into Mischief among the leading juvenile sires the last several years. He's been so good with these young horses. Malibu Moon we think of as more of a classic longer distance type sire, but he's always quietly so good with his 2-year-olds. We'll definitely talk about that in a minute here.
We'll take this field in post-position order, beginning with the number 1, Love This Lifestyle, going out for the always dangerous Wesley Ward. I think it's interesting that J.ROSARIO takes the mount. This stallion Lifestyle has done well with limited opportunities, 2 for 9 with 2-year-old debut runners. The dam won a couple of routes. She's a 3/4 sister to Midnight Hawk, who was a Grade 3 stakes winner, probably bested about a mile. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this horse shows speed from the rail.
Yeah, definitely. And I did a little bit of looking into the stallion Lifestyle because I wasn't familiar with him. He stands for a private fee for Wesley Ward, and he's not afraid to do that, to take a horse that he thought was athletic and maybe wasn't going to get the commercial opportunity and to try to make him a stallion. If you remember a couple of years ago, Wesley Ward sent out a lot of winners at the Keeneland Spring Meet by Iqbal, another kind of unknown stallion that, he was standing privately. Lifestyle, a son of Indian Charlie, big athletic horse, was so good with his 2-year-old. Had, of course, 2-year-old champion Uncle Mo, who was a record-setting freshman sire. The family can throw athletes. Lifestyle won 4 20 career starts, quick, versatile sort of horse, and I'm really intrigued to, get a look at one of his offspring and see what happens here.
The number 2 is No Limit Babe. This is a $2,500 yearling by Breeders' Cup Mile winner Artie Schiller. The dam won routing. Nice family of some graded stakes horses, but I wonder if this filly will need a little more distance down the road.
I think this one might need some more distance. I think you're right there. Artie Schiller kind of sneakily good with his 2-year-olds. Had, of course, a Grade 1 winner, My Contestadori, a stakes winner last year against the boys, Amy's Challenge, who is now targeting the Kentucky Oaks. But I do think that they want a little more distance, and, they run well on a number of surfaces.
The number 3 is Small Rogue Girl, and I'm really going to be interested to see what we get out of this young stallion Magician, winner of the Breeders' Cup Turf. It's hard to imagine the Magician's really excelling at 4.5 furlongs on the dirt, but this dam won twice, and she earned her best Beyer speed figure sprinting, and there's a little bit of speed on the bottom of the pedigree.
Yeah, the dam's a half to a stakes place sprinter, but yeah, Small Rogue Girl, I'm really going to be interested to see whether she takes after her sire or her dam. If she's in this spot, I'm thinking the connections must think it's the dam because, yeah, certainly Magician, I'm very excited about. Big, beautiful horse, was a world-class competitor by Galileo, but I certainly think of him as more of a turf horse and certainly a longer distance horse.
Jose Ortiz takes the mount for the powerful Michael Maker stable. We usually think of the Maker barn as winning with longer distance turf horses like Magician, but as we see from this formulator fact, he also can get them to win with 2-year-olds at Keeneland. Over the past 3 years, 2-year-olds first-time starters at Keeneland in dirt sprints, 30% winners, almost a $3 ROI. That's Small Rogue Girl. The 4's BAYTOWN Lindy, a $3,000 yearling by Jersey Town. The dam won 3 routes, but she's a half-sister to a good sprinter in Tastyville. It looked like this horse has been working with BAYTOWN Macca, who finished 4th in the 3rd race on Friday.
Yeah, and This one comes from the Fitke breeding program. Charles Fitke has been so good in recent years. This one by his stallion, Jersey Town, Cigar Mile winner by Sprint champion Spitestown. There is some speed in the pedigree that's maybe not as obvious. So I'm kind of curious to see what this cross produces.
Up next is the number 5, BENDECIDA, 30-1 on the morning line. This one is by Discreet Cat, 9% winners with 2-year-old debut runners. You go way back in the family. You got a lot of speed and class.
Yeah, this is a very, very classy female family. The 4th dam is a half to Gold Beauty. That makes this the family of Sky Beauty, Beyer, some good Phipps runners, including the ill-fated Pine Island. It's a terrific, terrific family.
The 6 is Athens Queen, trained by Wesley Ward. This is a daughter of Majestic Warrior, who gets 13% winners with 2-year-old debut runners. The dam was an okay sprinter. She earned a stakes placing, an 86 Beyer top on her resume. There is some class in this family, and it is a Ward first-time starter.
Yeah, and I think Majestic Warrior definitely injects a bit of speed in there as well. He was that rare son of AP Indy who wanted to be around one turn, who was a little bit more brilliant. We typically think of them as longer distance type horses. He was a Grade 1 winner of the Hopeful as a 2-year-old.
Let's take a look at the number 7, Run Chewy Run. This one's by Icebox, not known for having a lot of success with 2-year-old debut runners, only 3%. But the dam had some speed. She was a stakes place sprinter and she earned a 90 Beyer. What are we going to get? Are we going to get more Icebox or more of the dam? Because if we get more of the female family, this horse might be able to run a little bit at a price.
Right. If we get more of the female family, I think you hit the nail on the head with that 90 Beyer. Icebox by Pulpit, who's been a very good sire of sires, of course, with horses like Tap It and Lucky Pulpit out there. But Icebox has been so quiet so far.
Let's take a look at the number 8, Cafe Mischief. This is one of the 2 in here by Spendthrift Stallions. This one by Into Mischief, sold for $60,000 as a yearling. This unraced dam has been very, very productive. She's foaled 4 winners from 5 runners, and she's a half-sister to a multiple stakes-winning 2-year-old.
Yeah, and I like this cross very much. Into Mischief, as we mentioned, a prominent juvenile sire. He's been very consistent. And Medaglia d'Oro emerging as a very good broodmare sire, which you'd have to have expected with all of his outstanding daughters out there. Those daughters, of course, included Hall of Fame race mare Rachel Alexandra, who had Grade 1 winning 2-year-old Rachel Valentina. So just a really interesting cross, I think.
Looked like that this horse's last workout out of the gate might have come in company with Analyze This Cat, the number 1 in race number 1. We'll see how that horse does before Cafe Mischief even makes it into the paddock. The 9 is Our Miss Mo by the super young stallion Uncle Mo. This one perhaps a bargain, only sold for $11,000 as a yearling. The dam's a half to some nice horses. Crafty CT was a speedy horse that could stretch his speed to middle distances. Carmen's Baby, a nice runner as well. Again, James Chapman, I think, might have worked this horse once or twice with Zip Secret, who was 3rd in the opener on Friday.
Yeah, and Zip Secret, a pretty good rallying 3rd after missing that break. The dam won 2 routes and posted an 80 Beyer, and Crafty CT, who you mentioned, was good going short, could stretch it out to middle distances. A really tough horse, and what else can you say about Uncle Mo? Record-setting freshman sire, and he's continued to turn out good horses.
Kukoo Kunuku is the number 10. This one's by Proud Citizen, sold for $3,200 as a yearling. The dam was a really hearty horse by Caddy Ennis. She won 10 times, a 79 Beyer top.
Yeah, Caddy Ennis gets you a racehorse. Proud Citizen, one of the most underrated stallions of recent years, in my opinion. He sired a pair of Kentucky Oaks winners in Proud Spell and Believe You Can, both very good fillies. He's got a horse on the Derby Trail this year in Bluegrass Entrant, Blended Citizen. That being said, all of those long-winded horses, and I certainly like these horses that are going longer.
And again, this barn does do well with more experienced horses, as we've seen with the formulator fact for trainer Wayne Rice. Over the past 5 years, the number now stands at 1 for 31 with 2-year-olds. The 11 is Toy Moon, this one by Spendthrift stallion Malibu Moon, a half to the Grade 2 stakes-winning sprinter Pomeroys Pistol, who not only was fast, but was precocious. She was a debut winner, and this dam has also thrown 2 other debut winners. You got to think that Toy Moon's going to be ready first out for Mark Casse.
Definitely. And as we said, Malibu Moon, you certainly think of them as later developing classic type horses. He's the sire of Derby winner. He's got Magnum Moon unraced as a 2-year-old out there this year. But he's quietly so good with his 2-year-olds. He's 16% with his debut runners. I was actually surprised that it was that high. Again, I do as later developing horses. And last year he had juvenile grade 1 with Moonshine Memories and Heaven Love. On
opening day, it was Move Over Wesley Ward. Here comes Brett Calhoun. He's got the 12 Shanghai Rain. Calhoun swept the 2-year-old baby races on opening day, won with a son of Shanghai Bobby. He's got a daughter of Shanghai Bobby here breaking from the outside. Gabriel Saez rode the second of the 2 winners on opening day. This is the family of Boston Harbor, who was a nice 2-year-old way back when.
Yeah, 2-year-old champion in 96, Shanghai Bobby, 2-year-old champion of 2012. So definitely precocity, top and bottom. And Shanghai Bobby, again, was among last year's good freshman sires in a very, very competitive class.
2 horses on the also eligible list. They'll need some scratch help in order to break in. But as we take a look at race number 3, it's time for our selections. Where are you going?
Well, you know, I am going to look down toward the inside. Love This Lifestyle with Wesley Ward. I do think there's a lot of speed on this page. I'm wondering if because that stallion lifestyle is a bit unfamiliar to people, if this one might tick up a bit on the board. I'm certainly going to be keeping an eye on that. And I'm also taking a look at Cafe Mischief. As we talked about, that Into Mischief over Medaglia d'Oro cross is very interesting to me. And there is, you know, the dam's been so productive, and there's some juvenile ability on the page.
I'm with you. My top pick's the number 1, Love This Lifestyle, the daughter of Lifestyle, trained by Wesley Ward. I think the 11, Toy Moon by Spendthrift Stallion. Malibu Moon is primed to run a good one for Mark Cassie. And I can't throw out Brett Calhoun's runners the way they're going. I'll round out my top 3 picks with the 12, Shanghai Rain, and the second of 2 Keeneland baby races on Sunday. There's a Keeneland baby race scheduled for Wednesday. Nicole and I will be back early next week to talk some more Keeneland babies presented by Spendthrift.